Ah,
That was not a laugh.
Welcome back to another episode of The Councilmen, episode 36. Today, this month is Spooktober. Time to get spooky, boys.
spoopy.
Yep. And now,
Update
as
our
you can,
video.
and now you can see on the screen, we all have our Halloween names. We are joined by Victor O. Skeleton, Oogly Boogly, Friendzone, and Hans McGool, and me, Eager Poison Flower. Yes, and today we'll be talking all about this Spooktober spooky stuff. Yes. Alright, Victor O. Skeleton,
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Victor O'Skeleton, aka Albert Wiradharma. Oogie Boogly is Jason Wiradharma, which is our special guest for today. Igor Poison
Yay.
Flower is Kelvin Yohanes. Friendzone is Teguh Santoso, because that is the story of his life. And Hans McGool is
true,
Ariq
actually.
Andria.
That's not true.
Teguh?
He has,
No,
unlike
no.
us, Teguh actually has a harem, so.
No,
At
Teguh's,
least-
No, I friend zone.
no, dude. Teguh's
he's
name
the
should
one
be
that
Harem
friend zones.
Teguh should be like the Harem Zone.
My name was going to be sandwich that's falling butter side down, but then it's too long, so.
Oh, that's too spooky, man. Calm down.
Calm down and
Calm down.
Okay, so what we will be covering today is we will be doing a brief update on this Joker spoiler review that we did on the
Oh.
bonus episode. We're gonna be doing that real quick, and then we're gonna be talking about maybe our first horror movie experience. Do we love horror or not? Are we excited for Halloween? We're gonna have some Halloween experience that we might share, and then we're gonna be finishing off with Ariq, something happened in Ariq's screen. But we'll be talking about some scary stories. Hopefully, we have more stories to tell. In case you guys don't know, we did an earlier episode in the summer, which pretty much me, Ariq, and Kelvin tell a lot of horror stories. I don't know if we have any more left to tell, but hopefully we do, so we can chime in for this episode. But before all of that important stuff, we have the most important stuff of all to address, and that is,
Yes.
where has Teguh been gone?
For the past few episodes, we've been trying to summon him, but we have failed until today. Today we'll reveal Albert and Teguh's true feeling for each other.
Wait,
in a
what?
special episode of this is
I
a
didn't sign up
truly
for this.
spooky episode.
Teguh doesn't know this, don't you?
No,
Wait, Teguh, I have a
What
question.
have
I have
I
a question. I have a question, Teguh. Have
What?
you been opening your Instagram?
Yes.
no.
Open your
Oh.
Instagram.
Can you open
Why
your Instagram
not?
and go to your fireworks post? Your latest
Oh,
photo.
that? Yes, I saw that. I was confused, but I didn't think much about it.
Oh. Albert, your threat wasn't enough.
The threat wasn't enough, Albert. We should have gone to
Wow.
phase 2 earlier.
Yeah, Teguh, come on. We know that you're avoiding the show because you don't like me. That's true, right?
Oh yeah, I hate the shit out of you, but
That's why you were so excited during the anime show, because I wasn't in it.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
definitely.
as soon as I appear on the live chat, you're like, God damn it, this guy again.
Oh, no.
I-
What's
You
wrong?
can, you can see Teguh's happiness steps out when Albert chimed in the anime videos.
I knew it, Teguh. That's the reason all along. It's not scheduling issues whatsoever. You were not busy with schoolwork or work. You were just avoiding me.
No, it's like the universe knows like the future, right? So like the universe makes my schedule just like make it not work with you, Albert.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wow.
Okay. Blaming the universe. All right.
Right there, Councilmen Civil War coming soon, 2020.
Oh God. What is this?
God.
What is
We
that?
showed this on last episode, but since you listened to audio, Jace, this is what happened on
I'm
the video
shook.
format.
Oh.
Uh, just so you know, it's not that Albert is on Teguh's side. It's more like the three of us against Teguh because Teguh is a wizard. In this picture.
Oh, I
Why is Albert
see.
the normal one?
The good white.
Why is
Hey,
Albert
where's
the
your
normal
side
one?
out?
Maybe he isn't normal. Ever considered that? Huh?
No, okay. You use this particular picture to make a meme out of me using the 13 Reasons Why one. The cat.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I
I
remember.
Yeah, I
remember
know.
I
That
remember
smile.
that.
that.
That smile.
Them smile.
I remember
That
that.
damn smile.
But yeah. So Teguh, let's address this for real. Do you have a grudge on me?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh,
I knew it.
drama.
The drama
I
in
thought we're
this
doing a
episode.
Spooktober. Why is it so drama
I don't know.
orientated all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Drama-tober.
Because drama is spooky and October is spooky. Yes.
Drama is
Fair
spooky
enough.
for introverts, idiot.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And
And I'm an introvert. Yay.
in terms of spooky stuff, some people might find a typhoon scary. How are you, Teguh? Because I heard there's been a typhoon in Tokyo.
I heard Teguh got taken by the typhoon.
Well, he's here, so is everything okay? Is everything okay in Tokyo, Teguh?
Depends where you're living. Where I'm living, I happen to be completely fine,
Ooh.
which is
Do you
like,
How about your friends? Do you have friends in Tokyo that have been affected?
oh yeah, they're like, you guys remember Audrey, right? Like Albert, Kelvin, Ariq.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
She had to evacuate in the middle of the typhoon
Oh.
Holy
She has to
because of a flood warning, but the flood didn't come. So
That's
But
not
since I'm not too familiar, how do you evacuate a typhoon? Do you go like to a
You
bunker or
don't-
something?
so there are certain buildings that are designated as like evacuation buildings, and you need to like run over to them. Like if
Okay.
there's
okay.
an evacuation notice. But like, yeah, that wasn't that bad, right? Like the worst was my friend. He was in Yokohama. Like he actually just lost electricity and internet connection. So
Oh no, not the
Oh,
That's not
internet.
good.
They have become
Oh,
savages
the
again.
internet, yes.
Oh no.
On an unrelated note with that, today I saw a guy trying a hang glider in a park.
That is very unrelated note.
That is very unrelated.
That's not spooky or anything. It's just completely
No,
unrelated.
there's a guy
Oh
on the
no, I guess it's a
That is
celebration.
amazing.
Today the wind is pretty strong because of typhoon. Yesterday's
Oh yeah, it's
typhoon.
still pretty strong.
Yeah, it's still pretty strong in my place too, but yes, so I saw a guy using a hang glider, trying to use a hang glider
Nice.
Oh,
in
okay.
a park.
Okay.
Do you know Latin now?
Sorry, Jace, you're
I just-
breaking
I
up. What you're saying?
Oogly boogly, your sound is
By now?
Oogly boogly, your sound is fucked up.
Is it? Oh, no. Is
You wanna-
it-
You wanna try to leave and come back in?
After time, be back.
We cannot hear you, Jace. We
All
cannot
I
hear you
hear
right
him
now.
is all I
Wait.
hear from him is booba beep boop. Booba
All I
beep.
heard from him is "Ooh, bleep, boop, bleep."
All right. Well, Jason is sorting his stuff out. So, hi guys. It's been a while since all four of us has been here. This is awkward with me and Teguh being on the same side.
This is the wrong side of the Civil War.
All right.
So, Jason's back. Jason's back. Did he fix the issue?
Wait, I have a question. Are we addressing everyone's name by their Halloween name today or normal name?
Wait, is
Doesn't
it?
matter.
It's still
I-
very broken up.
I would love to be referred as Han, so Teguh can say get the Flammenwerfer.
Hans,
Get
Yeah.
the McGool.
Get the Bagoo.
Hans McDool.
get the McCool.
Get the
So can you
Bagoo.
guys, you guys know the movie Igor?
The
Yeah, I
animated
know.
animated one.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Mm. I haven't watched that movie, but I know what it is.
Yeah. I watched it. I guess it's not creepy actually, but it is rather gothic.
Yeah, I have not seen, even though I try to put Halloween as October aside for horror movies, I have not seen a single horror film this month, unless you count Joker, which I don't. But
No.
I've been in such a binge watch of Ghibli movies, and I love it. It's not
That's not horror.
Well,
It
a
is
guy flying a paraglider isn't horror either, Kelvin.
Hey, it is
Doesn't
horror
matter
if
what he
you.
brings in.
No, dude, it's a horror if you
Well,
consider in the case he succeed and then he failed midway. He succeed to fly
that's
and
not a
fail to
succeed
land.
then. It just means he failed. He
No,
succeeded,
whatever.
sometimes
He
he
succeed
failed.
in the flying, then he totally botched the landing.
What, like you in GTA 5 flying a helicopter?
Hey, shut up. It's very unrelated.
Oh, right. You just fail at taking off, flying, and landing. All three. All three.
By the way,
Oh, well,
Jason,
Yeah.
is everything okay again on your end?
Can you hear me? Is it good?
It's better. I
this
think.
camera,
Is it
it's
better?
better than before. It's a bit
Is it-
better.
It's a little bit. I just changed the earphones.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think okay. I think it should be okay. Hopefully, but yeah. Okay. Let's real quick. Let's address the issue with the Joker. Well, not the issue. The conversation. As
Yeah.
Teguh, Ariq, you have not seen the film, right? You don't want to get spoiled. If you don't want to, take
Oh,
up
you
take
better
up your
leave.
earphones for a moment, and then we'll wave at you once we finish the discussion, in case you don't want to get spoiled about the
Okay.
Joker. So all right. So as me and what is that?
What is that
I think he
noise?
turned off his camera, or he muted
Yeah.
himself.
What sound was that?
What this sound?
Are you pumping?
Oh, what is that?
It's my pumper. No, I don't know.
Overrated.
Anyway, so we talk about the Joker. I guess Ariq is saying around. We talk about the Joker, and Jason, you have some thoughts. Let us know what the thoughts are. Go.
Yeah. So my first impression was this is a weird movie. Like at the beginning, it was very intense, right? Because you see, walking like a normal Batman Joker movie, but it's very serious and it's addressing like mental health, and that's why a lot of the backlash has happened. I think because when people go to watch movies, they watch for like the enjoyment most of the time, but like this is very relatable, and I think that's caused a lot of controversy. Would you say?
I mean,
agree. I've
yeah,
read
there
a
are
lot about the
controversy.
mental illness stuff.
Because people with like depression, they would find this very traumatic. Would you say?
I mean, I guess so. It just depends on how people interpret the message at the very end. I feel like that's the problem.
Mm. Just another thing. It's quite slow if you think about it, like the whole movie, because a lot of it revolves around the good acting, and I think a lot of people might take that as like a con because they're used to like fast pace, like things happening quickly. But because this is so slow, the advantage of that is that it really delves into like the mental health, and because it's not so much a story about like heroes versus villains, more just like the creation of a villain. I think they've done a really good choice in that. Do you agree with the pacing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Since it's a very unorthodox, it's not. If people come to expect a regular like superhero movie going to the cinema, and then like the
No
parents like
way.
bring their kids like,
Yeah.
hey, come on kids, let's watch a superhero movie. It's about the
Uh-oh.
Joker, and then they see boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh shit, close your eyes.
I read in the comments in like when the first trailer just dropped, it's like someone in the comment on the YouTube commented like, "Oh, there must be a lot of action in this movie."
Well, there are certain scenes where things go down.
Yeah.
I guess.
Real quick, Jace, you listened to our spoiler review episode, right? And for the audience who have not listened, if you want to hear our spoiler thoughts, me and Kelvin did that on a bonus episode only for
Mini
audio. So go
episode.
check it out. Yes. And so in there, we asked a question on whose side are you on in terms of the argument, me or Kelvin's, and which side are you on, Jace?
I'm on Kelvin's side because
Nice.
for the first one was to do with Thomas Wayne and I forget the mum's name now, but Arthur's mum. She said that they had an affair.
Penny Flip.
I'm pretty sure they can't like forge those papers. Like I don't think that would be allowed. So I think she was lying because she was like psychotic, and therefore they treated him really badly, which is why he turned out the way he is. I think. And also the second part, the one where the girlfriend in the apartment. I think because there's a montage where they're in the hospital and then she's there for the first part, but then when he goes through like downhill again, you see him and she's not there. And so I think all of this is happening with inside his head and he's just painting like some sort of dream scenario, but it's actually not happening, I think. And
Yeah.
he's just kind of imagining like her there, like in the corner like of his mind. Just like watching him, even though because when he goes to her apartment and he's just sitting there, she acts like she's never met him at all. Like she says, "Oh, you're the guy from down the hallway," which is not something you would say that you've dated somebody. Which is a really good point that Kelvin brought up, and I was thinking about the same thing during the movie. And I was like, "This doesn't seem right. Like something's off here." So yeah, I'm pretty sure what Kelvin said, even though yours does make sense, Albert. I think Kelvin is the one that was happened. Yeah.
I wasn't seeing it in the same eyes as you guys apparently, but yeah, I'll just address this once again. The more I think about this film, the more I am just fine with it. I didn't love it. I didn't think it was. I thought it was a very excellent film. I just didn't like it as a Joker film because this is not a Joker that of how do I say that? This is not the usual Joker that we've seen. And I sent Kelvin a bunch of tweet actually from a person named I'm gonna quote him if I can find the tweet. It's from a guy named Hector Navarro. He works for DC Daily and he's a movie critic and he's a fan of comic books. And he mentioned this, and I'm quoting Hector Navarro at Hector is Funny on Twitter. As a film fan, Joker left me physically uncomfortable, and how it decided to depict violence and how it connect that violence to mental illness. As a comic fan, I disagree with its conclusion about a character it drew inspiration from. I agree with everyone who has been correctly saying the cinematography and performance are stellar. I felt, again, my comic book brain and heart kicking in, that it got the Joker wrong, and that he isn't someone who is mentally ill, but an evil man who makes choices to be evil. For me, it took the power away from Joker in the comics, whose evolution has allowed us to root for a mass billionaire to beat the crap out of him every month. When you give him a sympathetic backstory where he wasn't given the help he needed, the story become an anti-Batman one. There's a lot more if you want to check out Hector Navarro. Hector is Funny on Twitter. But yeah, the main point is it's a good film, but I just didn't see it as a good interpretation of Joker.
I mean, like the way I see it is like the director is taking a whole new taking a whole new approach at the Joker and not relating it to the comic at all. That's why it feels more in a way more original, even though it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess. But still, I thought since you are a very big Joker fan, Calf, you would have preferred the classic anarchy crazy Joker, not this.
I like originality. This is something unique, I would say. Yeah.
Okay,
that's why I still enjoy this movie.
All right, and so that we don't get too long on this topic, just yes or no from each of you that have seen the Joker film. Would you like to see a sequel? Yes or no? Since it's in the talks. No? Jason?
Not me.
No.
Okay, so that's it. And there will be a
Just a simple no.
I wouldn't want to see it too, but if they do it,
the main reason I don't want them to see a Joker because they ended it so well. Like I feel as though if they went on, they'd kind of ruin like the ending. They didn't really leave a cliffhanger per se. Like they'd only do it again because they went so well. But if they did it again, I don't think it'd have the same impact because the first time watching, you're kind of like shocked by the whole, like how serious it is. And so if you're kind of walking there expecting it to be the same, and if it's anything but that, then you're kind of just disappointed. So
okay,
I think
I guess you're right as well.
Fair. All right, so let's stop talking about the Joker. Let's bring Teguh back in.
Spooky topics.
Welcome back.
Teguh, is he back? Let's see. Wave.
Hello.
Hey, Teguh's back. So I'm guessing Teguh is the only one who have not seen the Joker, but we're not gonna talk about Joker anymore.
He hasn't seen it.
I haven't
I
seen
mean,
it.
like,
No.
cinemas in Japan are very expensive.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that last week. Like you watched like 3 movies, didn't you? Like
Yeah, 3
Endgame
years,
and
3 movie.
what the heck, bro? Feel for you. Unlucky. Rough
But yeah,
time.
yeah. It's also pricey here, but I think since
Yeah.
they are both in the city and I'm in a tech quote unquote village, it's still sort of cheaper for me here. But yeah,
And I'm like,
I've been picky
Dude.
here recently.
dude, it's hard, man. You're doing movie podcasts, but I can't watch movies.
Okay, Cal, here's the thing. I haven't seen a movie aside from the Joker and It Chapter 2 in the US, and there's been like so many movies that I want to watch in theaters, but I've been really picky about it, not just for time constraints, but because of financial constraints as well. So yeah, I understand what you mean, man.
Yeah, this is tough, man.
So wait, so basically, let me get this. So I'm the only one who has friend constraints because I can't find friends who just wants to watch the damn. I mean, cinema is not a problem. It's cheap
Okay.
here.
There is nothing wrong with watching on your own, though.
Yeah, like I watch Joker.
Yeah,
I want to
there's
learn.
nothing wrong except you look like a fucking loner.
Yes.
I mean, like I watch Finding Dory
Loser.
alone. Definitely
not
not
true.
creepy.
It's okay. It's
It's
okay,
definitely not
Ariq.
creepy.
I
You're
also
watching
struggle
a
to
kid.
find friends.
Because they're all in Jakarta. I'm in Bogor again. You're far away.
Fair. Well, yeah, we'll schedule something together somehow. I don't know what that means.
Wow.
We're gonna bring our
We'll
phone
watch
to
a
the
movie
cinema.
at the same time.
Yeah, we'll watch a movie.
Right,
We'll watch a
something.
movie at the same time. We plug in the Blu-ray. We say, okay, start now, and then we watch at the same
No,
time.
and then like whenever if I buffer, then we all have to pause.
Oh my god.
Somebody needs to go to the toilet. Yeah, everyone has to pause.
That is insane.
Oh god. Anyway, so this month, as Kelvin has mentioned as Igor Poisonflower, I'm sorry, has mentioned in the
Nice.
beginning
I
of the
don't know who
episode.
Kelvin is.
Igor Poison. If you're confused who Igor Poisonflower is, by the way, I'm guessing this background noise is coming from Teguh because his screen keep on moving. Teguh, I don't know what's going on, but there's like a lot of background noise from your end. I feel like when you move your screen, so yeah. But
Stop moving the screen.
yeah, okay, it's officially from Teguh. He's doing it. He's doing it to cut me off. He's trying to cut me off. He keep on when I'm talking.
Is this war still going on? I thought
Survival
this was
war.
a ceasefire.
Civil War.
Dirty tactics.
Anyway, Igor Poisonflower, for the video listeners, he is currently wearing some kind of, I don't know, how do you describe that? A chick? He have like is that a chick or a bird?
That's a chick.
There he have.
Chicken is a bird. Stupid.
Yeah, Albert.
Stupid.
Is that a
Stupid
chicken
idiot.
or a bird?
Albert, I thought
Is
that
it
took
chicken or a
science.
bird?
Calvin
A mammal or a human?
Igor Poisonflower have a chick on its head. That doesn't sound right, but okay.
He wished.
But yeah,
Um,
as he mentioned, on October we'll be doing a Spooktober Horror Month. We got something planned for the upcoming 2 episodes for the rest of the year as well. But for this one, as we mentioned in the rundown earlier, we're gonna be talking about horror film, Halloween experience, and scary stories once again. So let's just start it off by talking about horror movies in general. What are your thoughts? Everyone in the panel, I'll go around. What are your thoughts on horror movie? Are you a fan of it? Do you spend October to watch horror movies? And if you remember what your first horror films are, let us know as well. Let's start with our guest today. Let's start with Jason.
me.
No, not Jason. Who's Jason?
Oogie Boogly.
Oh yeah, Oogly. Who the fuck is Jason? Fuck. Oogly Boogly.
Boogly.
So yeah, my
Sure,
thoughts on
sorry.
horror movies. Well, firstly, like I'm not a big fan of horror, just because like I don't really like it. But if I'm watching with friends, I'll go and watch it with them. I won't enjoy it that much, but I like to think that I can take it. Hopefully, I'm getting better. So the first movie that I watched was Insidious. I don't know if you guys know it.
Oh
I
wow,
know.
it's that early? Seriously?
So that was in like year
Oh, not
4,
that,
I
that
think.
late, I mean.
Year four, I think. So I went over to my mate's
high
place.
school.
Huh?
Yeah, junior high school by then, I think.
Yeah.
James Wan, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So how that went down was going over to a mate's place, thinking I was just gonna play like some basketball. Apparently, he's been really into horror movies, And he's like, "Do you want to go watch a horror movie?" And I was like, "Oh no, please no." So he's like, "Yeah, I've got this really good movie downloaded. It's called Insidious. Like, apparently it's super scary." I was like, "Shit, okay, I don't look like I'm scared of movies." So I go watch the movie. He turns down like the darkness, puts on like the full sound, like closes all the blinds, so it's super dark now, and I'm just there, like, shit. What have I done to myself? Like, how did I get myself into this situation? But at the end of it, I was like, it's like not bad. Like, it wasn't, in my head, it was going to be a lot worse. And even though it was pretty scary, like, it wasn't that scary. And then, like, that night, it was very hard to sleep. Yep.
I got you, man.
I mean, I've never seen Insidious until now. It's still in my watch list, but I'm pretty sure that's a scary one to start off with.
You should watch it, bro.
I agree.
I will. It's definitely in my watch list.
There's an Insidious 2 as well, I saw, but I haven't seen that. Have you guys seen it?
What, the second one?
Yeah.
Never seen a single one.
No.
The Insidious.
Seen,
I think maybe I did. I don't know.
I've seen all of them. All the Insidious.
I do not
Yeah,
recall if I binge watched The Conjuring or The Insidious. They're like similar.
I mean, they're from the same director for the most part.
Same star, same director.
Yeah,
Same
exactly.
same star, really?
Yeah, the
Warren guy is the same.
Patrick
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in both universe. That's why I was confused most of the time.
Is he playing the same character or no?
Different.
No, he's playing different characters.
Okay.
Yeah, it just confuses me.
They're not related.
Well, I mean, yeah. And talking about people who get confused all the time, Teguh. I mean, friend zone.
Friend zone. Oh.
It's me, humanity's greatest fear, the friend zone.
So, friend zone. Are you a fan of horror movies? And
Nope.
do you remember your? Well, okay, that answers
Answer.
That we know.
Have you tried to toughen out and braven yourself to watch more horror movies?
Nope.
Okay. So
I think Teguh is like I think friendzone is the type of guy that will bring like holy water when he's watching horror movies. And have like a cross.
He throws it at the screen. Every time it's crazy.
Whenever like a jump scare happens, the power of Christ compels you.
Wow.
I didn't remember friend zone being that religious.
The only horror movie I've seen more than like one scene of is
more than
what's
one
it called?
scene.
More than one scene.
One scene.
Not even one
You haven't seen a horror movie.
The only horror that I've seen more than one scene of, like basically the entire movie, was what was it called?
What, scary movies is not a scary movie.
No. Yeah,
Haunted House.
I know what
Haunted
you did
House is
last
also not a
summer.
scary movie. What is it?
I know what you did last summer, but not the song.
Ah, okay.
It's
Okay.
definitely a scary movie. I think I've heard the title before. I just don't know what it
I've
is.
never watched that one. Isn't that the one with the hook or something?
Yeah, the guy with the hook.
I've not seen that. But it's to go. So what? Based on what you're saying, I'm guessing you've never fully seen you've never seen a horror movie as a whole from start to finish.
Apart from that one, no.
Okay.
Oh wow, it's an old movie, 1997.
It's very old.
I mean, it's fair. Like, so I'll chime in first, and then I'll pass it on to Kelvin and Ariq. Like, I wasn't a big fan of horror either. I know Ariq and Kelvin is a bit braver than me in terms of horror. At least used to. I don't know anymore.
You crazy people.
Kelvin got scared by a guy blinking, Albert.
Okay. That is why I said used to. But
No, it's the simple thing. No, it's the simple things that scares Igor over here.
Yeah, I know. Like
Igor, yeah.
Like Endgame, that scares me when Hulk comes out.
I love that story. But yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, I wasn't a big fan of horror too. I was a big wuss. I'll say that. And I was very scared of horror. I wasn't a big fan of it. And the first film ever that I see in cinema that is a horror film is when I first came to the US, and the first film that I saw in the US was It. That was the first horror film I see from start to finish. That is in cinemas. That is in cinemas, and that's also the first one I saw in in the US. And I mean, Kelvin, it's quite horror. Okay, there is some horror aspect. The spoiler for it that came out 2 years ago. That jump scare scene in the projector. That is terrifying.
That's pretty scary. Not gonna lie.
That's a good ass jump scare.
Did not see that coming. Yeah.
But the first horror movie that I managed to trace back, that I don't even know if this is a horror movie or not. I remember watching this as a kid, and I was terrified out of my soul. When I first watched it, I couldn't finish it, and then I somehow put the effort and finished this movie, rewatched it, and finished this movie. Even though as a kid I was so terrified, and I don't think if I watch it now, I probably wouldn't get scared. But have you guys heard of the film Monster House?
Is that a
cartoon?
That's the cartoon, right?
Wait, if that counts, then that's my first.
I just watched it like last year.
Is it? Wait, is it the one with the cartoon? 3 kids?
Yeah, the one where the house comes alive.
Yeah, the animated.
I watched that every day with my brother when I was young.
Yeah.
So it was very fun.
I love
It
how
was very, very fun.
That does not count. Get out of here.
As soon as I said Monster House, the chat, everyone just started
Boo!
talking. They started
You
going,
big sissy. You a big sissy, Victor.
Well, you watch Kelvin. You have no right to say anything. You just watch it recently. I watched it as a bloody kid.
No. I watched it when I was young, and then I rewatched it.
You were young
year.
last year, idiot.
Yeah, when I was younger than last year.
I was 7 years old last year.
I watched it like I don't know when I was still a very young boy.
Here's the thing. I don't even know. I cannot even remember what was the scary part about the film. But I just remember I was so terrified of it.
Oh, I don't know. When I was a kid, I found the wife being cemented is kind of creepy.
That was creepy, yes.
That was creepy.
I think the old man.
that was
I think the old man was also creepy, wasn't it?
No.
He's just
The
a
way he
cranky
looked,
old
I
man.
guess.
He's sympathetic.
I don't remember this film at all. I just remembered that I was scared
Oh, he looks
when I was
so ugly,
younger.
old man. I actually haven't
I was
seen
really
the movie,
wishing like
but-
my neighbor's house is a monster house at one point.
Except you don't have 2 other friends to explore it. Is that the problem?
Yes.
Did you happen to mention that this is also your first horror movie then, if it counts?
Yeah,
Wait.
then yes, I watched it start to finish.
Were you scared of it?
Not to the point that I couldn't finish it, but
Wait.
yes.
Is Monster House even considered a horror?
Not according to IMDb.
Thing is, what age was I when I watched that?
When was this?
I think-
2006. What age were we at that time?
Seven or
7.
6.
Yeah, so I watched it when I was like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Me too.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
was terrifying for me. Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to judge me,
No, it was
dude.
perfectly fine for me until the cremated wife part.
Not cremated, cemented.
Cemented, yes.
Slightly different terms there.
Dude, remember the cranky old guy is like the guy in Villa Duta, the cranky old dude that we are all scared of.
Yeah, the guy that lives near my house, my old house, in my old neighborhood. God, Kelvin was so stupid. Everyone just wanted to stay quiet. Kelvin's like, oh, look at that tree. Oh, you stupid idiot.
You told me to act normal. I'm trying to
That's
act
not normal.
normal.
I said, oh wait, is your normal stupid? Is that why? Normally I'm stupid. That's why I'm like, oh, look at that tree.
talking about people who aren't normal. Igor Poisonflower. What is your first? Are you a fan of horror? And what is your first horror film that you
Oh,
saw?
spooky stories with Pippins. With Igor, let's see. I'm not really a fan of it because I don't know. Most of the time, horror movies are bad.
Not a fan of horror. I thought you
Not a
liked
fan
horror
of
though.
it. No,
Or you can watch it, but you're fine with watching it.
I get kind of. I jump a few times for sure.
Oh yeah.
I watched this movie. I think Makmum with Ariq while I was in Indonesia.
Magnum.
I pulled my hamstring while watching it.
What the heck?
What the? Did you just jump out of your seat out of?
Something happened. Then I was like, then like my hamstring, man, just pulled. I was in pain and scared.
That's pretty funny.
I know a few times I choke when eating the popcorn.
Oh no.
Yeah, there was a moment where I think when Kelvin pulled his hamstring, it's like he was about to get scared, but instead of going like he was like ow, ow, like he held his leg. I was like, what happened?
Wait, what is this film called again?
I think
Makmum.
Makmum is the one we watched.
It's based
It's
off
an
it's
Indonesian
an
horror.
Indonesian horror film that's based off like a short movie that won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
But the movie itself isn't that good, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Oh, I cannot find it in the internet anywhere. Maknum
Yeah,
Indonesian horror, but yeah.
I'm not the best with horror movies. Though I think like the first horror movie I watched, definitely I watched some of the Indonesian stuff, but I don't remember any of it. The first horror movie I can trace back is a Thailand movie.
I mean,
A horror Thailand movie.
I heard Thailand movie are actually quite scary for horror.
Yeah, apparently they're really
No, this is actually funny.
a funny horror movie.
What?
Yeah, I think so. It's called
Oh,
10i. The
horror comedy.
I-10. The I-10. Yeah, the
Okay.
I-10.
Phone.
Wait, let me actually Google. What is it? Wait. Do they? Yeah, it's horror. No, the I-10. Yeah. I don't know.
The I-10 by Apple.
No. It scared me, but also makes me laugh. It's because it's like if I recall like very vaguely, it's about a bunch of dude trying to see ghosts.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a horror movie or not, but is Battle Royale considered a horror movie? Like the
No,
Hunger
that's
Games?
just gore, isn't it?
It's
just
just,
gore.
I mean, if you find like torture porn / gore as a horror, then yes, it will be. Calvin doesn't because he's immune to it. He saw all the Saw movies in one sitting. I don't know what's wrong.
Are you
with
serious? Oh my
I did.
god.
So
What was that? What was that one? The
Igor, come on, mate. That's...
ABCs of Murder?
ABCs
of Death.
Oh, yeah.
ABCs of Death. Yeah.
I watched both
Yeah,
1 and 2.
So
The real
Calvin,
horrific person here is Kelvin.
so yeah, if you
I mean, it's Igor.
if you say torture porn to Calvin, he gets aroused instead of getting.
Alright.
Let me tell you.
Help,
in
mate.
here, the 10 ways to see ghosts from the movie. One of them is to tap chopsticks on a bowl filled with food at the road intersection at night to attract hungry ghosts. That's an
What?
actual scene from the movie.
That is
That I watched.
specific.
Remember, it's like imagine this a bowl, okay? This is a chopstick. You're like doing this to see the ghost, and the ghost came, and then as you're doing this, you accidentally break the bowl, and then but the ghost was still coming, so it's like he panicked, so he started doing this with the chopstick, like.
Wow. Okay.
And then the ghost gets angry, and then apparently the ghost is scared of farts.
Oh my
Oh
god.
wow.
That's ridiculous.
I like how the
No,
more you
it's a
explain this,
ridiculous
the less it makes
Some sort of
sense.
satire.
But it does gets me scared when I was younger because I really think that those 10 ways are real. So yeah, I try to avoid tapping my bowl if there's a food in it.
Okay.
Especially at
but
the
yeah.
intersection.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially.
Yeah, but no, actually, like after my young days of watching horror, and then like I stopped for a long time until Insidious. Yeah, because like some of my friends, Stefan and friends, they went to watch it that time without me.
That's horrific. They left you.
No, but then it's like, I heard that some people they say this movie is so scary that they left the cinema.
What?
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I heard that too. Our friends left.
So because
Isn't
of
it
that,
Conjuring?
No, Insidious. That I'm Conjuring.
Oh, okay.
Insidious, yeah.
Okay.
They
So
left cinema.
I was
I beat
curious.
them all.
Like, I was like, what? There's no way a horror movie can be that scary.
Pretty good.
So I watch it alone, like
Oh,
around
no.
11 p.m. at night with my lights
That's
off.
not great.
The outcome of that is that I slept for I think like 3 days. I slept with my parents.
Yeah, no, right? It makes me scared of windows. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, I was super scared
I
in that
was
3 days.
shocked.
like my bed is like there's my bed next to it is a window, right? And there's like the whole curtain thing. But then like there's that little spot where I can see through the curtain, so I can see like the window.
Oh
That
no.
scared the crap out of me every night. I look at it, I was like, oh my god. No, Albert.
Not that one.
No, the
It's
old
just
man.
not Maul.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
just
Maul.
not Maul. dude.
No, but the bright lady. That's the scary one.
Oh, sorry, I removed the wrong people. Sorry to go. Where is
Damn
my
it, but
where is my
The
chef?
bright lady, if you
Oh,
if you
okay,
recall, that's a scary one.
let me find it. But yeah, so yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, Ariq, your turn. Sorry about that tangent by Kelvin.
What?
But Ariq,
Right, so what are you showing?
What
Ariq,
is
her?
that?
isn't that the bright
That's-
lady?
No.
I
For
think
the
Kelvin
grandma.
saw something that's not even in the movie. I think he was
Forget it.
just
I give up. I give
haunted
up looking for it.
by a real ghost.
Are you a fan of horror? And what is your first horror movie experience?
All right. So, horror. The way I see horror is like, I see horror as like similar to a fully online multiplayer game. It's fun
What?
with friends. It's fun with friends, but it's not
Oh.
fun alone.
I agree.
Okay. So yeah, I don't watch horror by myself because that sounds lonely and sad and scary.
Hey, I've been doing
You're
that.
lonely. You're lonely, Victor.
I do that sometimes.
But the thing is, if you watch with friends, it can get extremely fun. Like I think I remembered, I think the whole not the whole class, like a big portion of the class watched Conjuring when it was released,
Oh yeah, I remember
and
that.
everyone just likes to overreact at every like scary scene. Like I think
Oh my
me and
God.
several other friends,
Oh,
we like to like we were sitting like in front and there was like some kind of barrier. We actually get off our chairs and hid under there.
What the heck?
If I may know, which scene are you guys talking about in Conjuring?
Yeah, what?
I do not recall. Because I vaguely remember that I'm the one that hides.
The
Under
girl,
the
like
bed.
the ghost, went all John Cena from the wardrobe. She just like dropped down. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
she went
Okay,
all John Cena. I was like, oh god.
Yep.
But yeah, that
I mean,
Conjuring, a scene that's
or
sort of
or the more famous one is like when the mom took out a match and then suddenly.
oh.
Oh,
Oh,
that scared me.
That gave me chills.
messed up.
I mean that was scary, yeah, but it was because we were watching as a whole like half a class or something.
It makes it fun
Yeah.
though. Like if it's with friends, like I think.
Mhm.
I watch with friends. It doesn't get scary. It just gets
No,
fun,
it doesn't,
especially
yeah,
with
That's
Calvin.
right.
Calvin just likes to freak out, and I just keep laughing at him, especially when
Hey.
he pulled his hamstrings.
Hey. It happened once, I think.
It
No,
will
yeah.
happen again.
Horror movies is much more enjoyable when you watch it alone. You know, if you want to
Alone?
get the
Really?
experience.
Okay,
For example, like Babadook. Yeah?
I've not seen
I
that.
watch it.
It's an Australian film, by the way, right, Jace?
Is it?
What
Oh.
Babadook? I haven't even heard of that. I'm looking at
Yeah.
it
I
right now.
believe Jennifer Kent, who directed it, I believe she's Australian.
Oh, that's
Pretty
number
sure.
2. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
no, it's like Babadook.
Oh, this
I
looks
watched
kind
it
of
with a bunch of friends. So, but the thing is, it's more of a psychological thing. So that's why it's not scary. When I'm watching it with friends, it just gets off as boring. But I can see like how it's considered one of the best horror when you like fully immersed in the story. You know, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
It looks pretty cool. It's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty solid.
It's pretty. I heard it's pretty good. I've not seen
They
it yet.
consider it one of the best horror movie of that year.
In the past decade. Yeah, the people's
Yeah, in the past decade.
Really?
Jennifer Kent.
Yeah.
She's
I guess I gotta watch it then.
You should.
Not by myself, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
But like watch it if you're watching it with a friend, like watch it with someone that will like
Yep.
get immersed into it too.
Yeah,
Instead
no,
of
no, this is
making
the
jokes all around.
No, I hate
That's
it.
what
no,
When,
this is
happened
the
in
yeah, that's
that's
the
what I hate.
point. There's the point that there's two ways to watch a horror movie. One, you can either watch by yourself,
Nah.
which makes it more immersive, and if you like that kind of thing, yeah, that's definitely fine. But if you're like the type of guy who's like normally scared, but you just want to have a good time, just want to have fun, then yeah, you watch with friends. You
Okay,
can
yeah.
just shout
Okay,
out.
okay. I'll give like two sort of scenarios, not scenarios, examples. Like the movie
Okay.
It will be so much better than watching with friends.
Yes.
But the movie like A Quiet Place, where you are so intense at the edge
Oh,
of your seat,
that watch it
there's
alone.
A quiet
yeah,
place,
there's
yeah,
no
would better
point
watch
watching.
alone.
There's no point watching with friends because you cannot talk to them anyway. You'll be like, "Oh fuck, shut up, shut up, shut up."
Yeah.
So yeah, and a movie that you can probably ignore and just watch in a plane because it's so trash, like The Curse of La Llorona. Watch it in a plane. That's
No,
what I
you know what? You know what's
Or
trash
don't
there?
or don't watch
Scary
it at
stories.
all. So
don't
it
watch it at
Scary
all.
sucks.
stories to tell in
Oh.
the dark. That
Yeah.
is a bad movie.
Yeah,
Really?
my brother already
That is
said
a
that, but
bad
we're
movie.
quite
I
That
just
confident
recently
watched
to
it
came
watch it.
out,
a few
didn't
days
it?
ago.
It recently came out. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that good.
No,
Oh,
it's not good. I just watched it like 2 days ago, I think.
Huh.
there's another scary movie that
Bad.
recently.
It looks the trailer looks creepy, but I guess if the film.
Yeah, I mean, I know. No, actually, I just saw the poster. I was like, oh, interesting. But no, I was disappointed.
Oh. I mean, it's based on a children's book. It's based on a bunch of children's book. But
It's
yeah,
like Goosebumps.
okay.
Yeah, that's why it's based on a children's book.
But yeah, talking about scary stories. That is our main. The scary stories to tell in dark. That is our main topic for the day, and
Yeah.
so we can finally make Teguh speak more because he haven't been speaking for the past 20 minutes. So yeah, let's talk about scary stories. Maybe it take place during Halloween. Maybe it's just a scary story in general. Kelvin and Ariq have tell a bunch of scary stories in the past with me as well. I still have some scary stories to tell. I don't know if these two have any.
I have run out
Igor and
of
Hans.
movies.
But let's hope Friendzone and Oogie Boogly have some scary stories to tell. But before we do that, do you guys want to turn off all the lights and then we do like we're using a flashlight and stuff? Do you want to do that?
I already did that. Look, about
Poor.
green.
I'm poor. I don't have a
Yeah,
flashlight.
let's do that.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
It's morning
I'm
for
not
you,
fine
but
with
it's
that.
sunlight.
But
Some
the
of
thing
us
is,
are
I
broke,
cannot
Albert.
do the dark 'cause I have, I'll close my
Wait a
curtain.
minute. Hang on. Wait a minute. No, I'm completely blacked out.
And then we use our flashlight from our phone or
You
something.
know what? I'm actually scared. I'm really scared that you know the movie, the one on Skype.
Oh yeah.
The movie,
Oh,
the
that
one on
looks
Skype.
good.
Yeah, I feel like something will happen to one of us.
I don't think I even need a flashlight.
This whole light. It's from my computer screen.
Yeah, it is. I just use the flashlight because
What
it's
the hell?
creepy.
What the hell? I look so creepy with all this ambient light in the back.
I can't even be seen with a flashlight. What is this?
You look like a drunk Russian.
Let me try doing something.
But yeah, let's start with Teguh. Let's hear if you have some scary stories at all.
So I am aware I was supposed to get a scary story. I actually, believe it or not, I attempted to do so by searching the internet. The internet was very disappointing.
I thought you went to like you actually go out and try to find a like
Yeah,
haunted house or
Find the
something.
spirit.
So
That is
unless you want to hear this really crappy one I got off the internet, like
He's already like.
such a good way to start off this segment.
He's just brutally honest, just like yes.
Yeah.
like I don't want to disappoint our audience, you know. They gotta know that there's gonna be nothing coming from my end.
There's full transparency here.
Set the bar very low.
So would you like to hear it, or should we just skip to the good quality ones?
I
Is the
feel
good
like I feel like
quality
I
one
want
coming from you?
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I want to
Can
love
you
it.
Okay. I'm just gonna read it off the website.
Like,
Oh, jeez.
Alright, here's what we do. Here's what we'll do.
Igor is not impressed.
The story I'm gonna say is gonna be so bad it's gonna make yours seem scarier. Okay.
Alright, I guess.
So this is all the
Just say it. This is too interesting. Just say it already, damn it.
A young girl named Lisa often had to spend time alone at home at night
Oh, that's
as
scary.
my
her
God,
parents
that's me.
worked late. So her parents bought her a dog to keep her company and protect her. One night, Lisa was awakened by a dripping sound. She got up and went to the kitchen to make sure the tap was off. As she was getting back into the bed, she stuck her hand under the bed and the dog licked it.
Oh, I know.
The
this.
dripping sound continued. So she went to the bathroom and made sure the tap was turned off there too. She went back to the bedroom and stuck her hand under the bed and the dog licked it again. But the dripping continued, so she went outside and turned off all the faucets out there. She came back to bed, stuck her hand under it, and the dog licked it again. The dripping sound continued. This time she listened and located the source of the dripping. It was coming from her closet. She opened the closet door and there found her poor dog hanging upside down with its neck cut. Written on the inside of the closet in blood was, "Humans can lick too."
I know. That's some creepypasta.
Is that creepy?
Yeah, I mean, creepypastas can be very scary, enough to be honest, if it's well written.
You're not wrong.
It can be extremely scary.
Wait, then I
Alright.
should have done a creepypasta. Why did I not think of that?
That wasn't a creepypasta. Where did you get that from?
That's a
Then?
creepypasta.
I literally Googled scary stories to tell friends.
Humans can lick too.
But then again, yeah, I just remembered. I think a friend of ours, Emily, you remember her?
Mhm.
She told me like a scary story. Something. I think it was a creepypasta as well. I'm not sure if I can remember this story
Oh,
completely.
because I remember I used to
I can say it.
reading Pokemon creepypastas.
I
Oh,
know.
What?
yeah. I've
There
heard
are
of
some really
Oh,
dark
like
stuff.
the Parasect one? That
Yeah.
was really interesting. Like how the parasite, like that's why its eyes turn white because it's
I
Oh,
heard
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
creepypasta from like the Pokemon one. It's like there's like like you can enter like this town that is like a Lavender Town, I think.
Lavender
That's what
Town.
it's called.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
completely like emptied and all that. And it's like, and it plays like a really scary tune or something.
Yeah, there is
I
some
forgot
really
the whole story, but yeah,
there's
it's
some
Lavender
really
Town. That was the thing.
Pokemon creepypastas.
But yes, and on that disappointment, let's continue.
All right.
I got another big disappointment too.
Oh, okay. Disappointment to the
nice.
to the next disappointment. Let's go.
This is supposed to be horror, not disappointing month.
Okay, here. I don't know.
Wow.
Wait, did I tell this story?
Arix's background is so pitch black.
Abek?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's AC. Holy fuck, I was scared.
My AC goes. My AC
Oh,
No, if you look
You-
at the,
you just
at
wanna
the
turn
right
on the
side
lights?
of Avek, no, if you
You
look
just wanna
at the
turn on
right
the
side of
lights.
Avek,
Like the red and the
two
green
dots
one, right?
on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I can't
saw
hear
it too.
shit. Oh my god, I can't hear shit. Teguh, your microphone was fucked. What? What did Kelvin say?
No, when you turn
Where's
off
my
the lights,
microphone?
the lights from the AC that gives off like
Yeah.
that two dots on the
Oh,
at the back of you.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I know why. Yeah, the power outlet there's one, and then the AC there's another. Like,
yeah, I know. That's why I was like, oh, damn, all right.
By the way, I'm not forcing you guys to turn off the lights. If you guys want to turn it on, it's all good. Okay, just letting you know.
No, later,
I like this
later.
green thing. This green thing looks cool.
No, okay. Here,
The thing
here's
is,
a disappointing story. Okay, I don't remember if I told this story before or not. It's the one in the closet when I tried to summon a demon.
The
Did I
fuck?
tell that one before?
tried to summon a demon?
Why?
What?
Alright,
Well,
okay.
how did you
So
try to
clearly,
Oh,
I haven't.
shit.
Clearly, I haven't told this
Elaborate.
story yet.
Elaborate.
So one day, a young boy, a young Igor, went out on the internet and was googling. No, not googling. It just stumbled upon a website that explains like how to summon a demon. So I was like, oh, interesting. Let's open that. So I did, and then
Interesting.
one of them is apparently very simple. I don't know if it works or not, or it's just a made up one. But they say it's like go into a dark room, very like a small dark room or a closet, close it, say some stuff, say some stuff
Say-
while the I forgot the stuff, okay? But you have to like turn on those matchsticks
Oh,
inside those dark room, and then like once you say those stuff, if that light match like got like blown away or turned off gitu, that means you've successfully summoned a demon. In like a few seconds, you have to quickly try to turn on the matchstick back on. Then leave the closet. Then yay, you have successfully summoned a demon in your closet. All right. So I read that. That's the procedure. So I think like 2 days before I have to move out from my dorm, my bathroom is pretty small, right, in Japan. So I was thinking, if I close the door, it's super dark. What if I summon a demon in the toilet and and I want to make my room like so other students wouldn't like my room, and because like in my dorm there's like 4 buildings, I think like 3 of the rooms is like you cannot use those 3 rooms because it's considered haunted.
Mm.
Yeah, and I want to make my room the 4th room that cannot
Wow.
be used.
Wow. You bold
Yeah,
man.
so I was just thinking of doing it, and until I practice like turning on the matchstick, how fast I can do it and how well I can do it in the dark. And yeah, I wasn't good at it, so I decided not to do it because I didn't want to die.
die.
I mean, that's probably if that's true, it's probably the right choice.
So I mean, like, how cool would it be, I'm the last one to live in that room for a full year. Yeah, see, that sounds cool.
People will be
I
investigating
I
and
can
then
tell
they'll go to
people
your
like
house.
I can tell people I live with a demon for 1 year. See, that sounds cool.
Even though,
That's like some
even though it's
anime
more like
level stuff.
it's more like no, it's just like 5 minutes before I leave.
But yeah, so yeah, that's the disappointing story
That's I mean
of
that's still
young
pretty
Igor.
That's pretty
pretty
cool. Trying to summon the demon. Not gonna lie.
Isn't there an anime called How
okay.
Not to Summon a
I mean,
Demon?
like it'll be cool, later like the toilet demon I want it to be called.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Terai Ubake.
We just skipped the part where we talk about Halloween stuff, so we're just going to scary stories directly.
Yeah, we are
Oh.
because we're sort of running long. But we can tie it all in together. Anyway, so Oogie Boogly, does your scary stories involve a demon whatsoever?
I don't know if it's a demon or just, but there's like I think I saw a spirit. I think possibly.
Ooh.
So what
Interesting.
happened was I was a small little oogly boogly, and and I was getting something from the kitchen, and it was really dark as well, and I couldn't find the light switch, so I just tried to look around for something, and I swear I saw like this glowing thing on the other side of the room, and it was in like the shape of a human, and it was coming closer and closer.
God damn it!
I wasn't sure if it was just my mind playing tricks on me or not. And like before it like got really close, like the lights turned on. Like someone was like, "Jason, like you like what's taking you so long?" And then someone like turned the lights on, and like the glowing thing disappeared. So I'm like, I'm not sure if that was like just me or like is this glowing thing real? But the person behind me, like I think it was like mom or dad, they didn't notice. Like they was like, "Oh, what is it?" Like, "Oh, didn't you see that?" They're like, "It's nothing." I was like, "Holy shit!"
Man,
So
like, did it?
maybe I saw something, maybe I didn't. I don't know, but it felt very real, like a shape of a person, like glowing, and it was like 7 foot tall, I think.
Holy
That's tall.
And I was like, "Holy!" So I was just like,
Man, they
How
do
much
say
is that?
young boys
7 feet is
like
like
That's like
young
the-
Oogie
Meters,
Boogie
1
here
meters.
that's like the crooked
can see ghosts kind of things.
I was like, "Damn!"
Young boys.
I'm shook. I was like,
Um,
that's my spirit story.
Hans McGool, do you happen to have a scary story, or do you have a Halloween story? That
Oh.
You have a McGhoul story?
I don't have a ghoul story now. I don't think ghouls exist in real life, but anyway. I actually do have a scary story, but it's not mine. It's told
okay.
to me.
Alright.
You guys know our not so good friend Hazel. We never really like him.
Oh, that boy,
Oh.
yes.
Oh,
Why not?
Are we showing our true feelings in this How to episode.
If he's watching this, we're sorry, Hazel.
I'm gonna send direct link to the podcast to him.
And
and,
McDool.
and he's listening, and I'm like, who's McDool again? Why did he not like us?
Again, he actually has a lot of scary stories to tell. So like basically, let's see, which I'm not sure which ones to start with. I have two. I'll just go with the first one is like, so at one point, when he was younger, he and his family had to like temporarily live in a like some kind of apartment because they were like moving houses, if I'm not mistaken. Like that was the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think like they stayed there for like a few days. Like the first few days, like Hazel said that he kind of like saw some like no like he like he has like this weird feeling that like that there may be like some kind of like somebody is like watching him or something. Like he has like a weird feeling that someone's looking at him because when he was like approaching the apartment, like he looked up at the window and he kind of like saw some kind of figure, but he couldn't like make it out what it was. But he like, and when he asked like his mom, like, you see that over there? And his mom like saw nothing, obviously. So that's how it kind of started off with. And then one night he was about to go to bed. One night he was about to go to bed.
Everything okay, Ariq?
One night he was about to go to bed, and like I think I'm not sure what I can't remember the story in full detail, but like he was just like going around the apartment room, right? He opened one of the curtains were closed. When he opened the curtain, he saw like this really tall, dark, like black figure like standing in front of the mirror. And when he like it was like so tall, like he looked all the way up, and he claimed that it like he saw like some kind of like two red eyes glowing from it. Like that's what he told me. That's what he saw, and he like. But after that, he kind of just like closed the curtains and he ran and he hid. He was basically crying, and that was like. But that's the thing. But and then after that, they completely like moved out, not because it was haunted, but because the house was ready. That's basically yeah. That's the haunted. That was like that's one haunted story he told me, and another one. The another one is actually more. I think I remembered it a lot better because it also relates to another one of our classmates. It's here, my ex. Yeah. Anyway, so basically when Hazel moved to that another house, he actually moved houses several times. That's the weird thing. This is completely different.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he moves houses a lot. But yeah, this one time he moved into a house. When he moved in there, as a kid, he played upstairs with like his brother or cousin or whatever. And then like when he was playing with his cousins or brother, suddenly like something tapped him on the shoulder. When he looked back, it's like some like kind of like a creepy old man or something. That's what he described it as.
Oh God.
But yeah, and then like he just ran down. But you know when he told his older siblings like what happened, of course they didn't believe him. There's like no one up there and all that. And then the next day he investigated further. He went up into the attic. Right? When he was barefooted, the attic was completely dark. As soon as he like stepped on the ground, he said that the ground like felt very squishy and weird. So when he looked down, it was apparently like a pile of like dead bugs everywhere throughout the whole floor. Yeah, and then he got creeped out. He ran out again. And then when he checked upstairs along with his like brother, they found out that the bugs were like completely gone. There was nothing there. Like the whole floor was clean. So yeah, and the way this relates to my ex is that a few years later, when Kier came to our school, she moved into that house apparently.
Oh, damn.
And one time I remember she called me like late in the middle of the night. Like she heard sounds. Her parents were screaming for no reason. She was like on the verge of crying, and I don't know what to do. Like she just said like she heard sounds coming from somewhere, and she was all alone. And I'm just like here with my phone, like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. I was just like froze up and I was just like, I just froze up, you know.
It's a
So
truly
I, so
heartfelt
it's
episode.
so basically I don't know, like, so basically I don't know, like maybe like those sounds that she may hear, those mysterious sounds that the birds get scared over, it's maybe correlated to Hazel's scary story. I don't know, maybe.
Oh,
But yeah, that's what I got.
well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
quite
tales from
creepy.
our friends. Yeah.
That's- how do you even make that up? Like you kind of make that up. Like what the heck?
Yeah. Have you?
I
I
mean, to be
forget.
honest, I don't know how. I don't know if the story is real or not. I mean, it could be just him being a dick and
Yeah.
just saying random things, but you know, still an interesting story to tell.
It is.
We
It is
should,
still
we should
interestingly creepy, even if it's not true.
later. Us boys should like make a special episode, a follow-up episode where we spend a night in that house.
Oh God, no.
Oh, definitely.
I'll pass.
No,
The-
you're
I will
wrong.
actually
The
bring
council
holy
wants to
water.
Are we?
investigate.
What?
haunted
Are we
house.
supposed to ask my ex's parents, like, hey, can we stay over here for the night?
Yeah,
We want to see
definitely.
scary
Kelvin,
shit.
Igor, I'll bring the holy water.
yeah. See, we got Teguh. We are safe, guys.
He's bringing like a whole like gallon of holy
A
water.
gallon of it.
No, a full gallon.
um, I can't remember. Did I tell the story of the mist the last episode?
The mist.
Miss.
It's a
I
movie.
don't think so. Or I
No,
can't
I'm
remember.
talking to Ariq and Kelvin. Did I? Because I know Togo probably doesn't listen to the episode. 'Cause
I don't remember
probably-
listening to it. I don't remember listening.
Okay, well, okay.
I
So
can't-
this is
I can't remember.
so yeah. So what happened was I wasn't. So I'm not directly related to the story, but I was because I wasn't there, but it happened that they were calling me at that moment. So I heard it happen live. So what happened was, I don't know what Togo's doing with his camera angles, but um, but yeah. So what the story was, my friends was going to Chicago. I didn't go because I wasn't feeling so well, so that's why I didn't go. My friends went to Chicago and they came back like very late. It was like there's like a 2-hour drive from Chicago to my place. It's like so they came back I think like near midnight or something, and then they called me because they were checking up on me, and I'm also wondering what they were doing because they're my roommates. So yeah, so 2 of my roommates were driving, and then the one in the back of the car is another friend of mine and 2 freshmen, because it was like a freshman. It was like it was like a Parmias event, which is like an Indonesian Students Association in the U.S., an event that we go to Chicago every year.
Makrab.
And then
Feels
so
like makrab.
so yeah, they were driving and I was calling them, and then Kenneth, who was in previous episode, as Kelvin knows. So this happened to Kenneth, so maybe he can tell the story better. But yeah, but basically he missed a turn on the, I don't know if it's highway or whatever, but he missed a turn, so he had to take an alternate road, and he go to this like very small path, which is like in Indiana, in the where I say I'm in, it's corn farms everywhere. If it's not corn, it's something else, but it's always like farm all over the place. So we have to take a small turn to like this small corn, like the road is in between some corns. What's Kelvin mouthing? I have no clue. Are you saying something?
I'm talking to Ariq.
Oh, okay.
I'm mounting
Talking
to
to
Ariq, saying that's
talking
so
to a
fucking
demon.
cute. Where do you get that?
It's
Okay.
from the Comic Con I went yesterday. I can tell about it later though.
Anyway.
After the show.
As I was saying, so they took the turn and they went to like a small road which is like filled with cornfields and everywhere, and there's like literally no other cars, no lights. The only lights coming is from his car, and they're looking ahead. They're calling me right. There was nothing going on in front. There was like nothing clear. It was just there was no house whatsoever, and they were going, and then suddenly the next thing I heard was they just started screaming like crazy. They were like screaming like they were just like ah! They were just like
Oh
screaming.
god.
I'm like, wait, what's going on? I was so confused, right? And then like they were just stunned. They were like they didn't say a single thing. They were just like frozen. They were so scared. They didn't dare to say anything. And then they end the call. I was like, what the hell just happened? I was so terrified for them. And then the next day they told me what happened. And basically, when they were, I'm about to tell you, Calvin. So basically, when they were driving, suddenly out of nowhere, a very thick mist cloud, like super thick, like not even like a small fog or everything. It just totally pitch white, very, very thick fog appear out of nowhere for like a brief second, and then
Oh god.
it disappeared.
What? For 1 second and just
Yeah,
disappeared.
so their car was like engulfed in like fog, and they say they cannot. Everywhere they look at the mirrors, it was all white. They cannot see anything, and then the next thing they know, they're back on the road. They what
Do
they
they
did.
stop?
They were. Oh, Teguh got so scared he
The
left.
goose been taken by
Oh
the
no,
fog.
friend zone.
But yeah, it was so they were so scared they didn't dare to look back. They were terrified. Probably the signal got lost when they end the call because they didn't tell me why. But they were just so scared and they just keep driving. They don't know what happened. Everyone just started screaming because like one person screamed and the other person like, wait, are they faking? Or and then because they thought their eyes just blurry, and it turns out it's real because the other person was screaming. So everyone just started screaming and they were just terrified as friend zone comes back in. But yeah, apparently it was just a mist that appeared and disappear out of nowhere. That's scary.
That's pretty scary.
Especially when they're driving.
At night, at like around 12 too.
How do you
Yeah.
explain that? I can't even explain like how. How does it happen?
I don't know.
Yeah, like a fog that appears
Like a
for such
low-lying
short time.
cloud? I don't even know.
And like three
Oh.
to 5 people saw it, so that it
Yeah.
wasn't an illusion.
It's real, yeah.
There's a logical
5 people
explanation
saw
for
it
this.
and you heard it.
Vapors.
So yeah,
Well, okay, vapors, but if it's
Vapor.
and that fast,
Like 10 of them. Like
there's like
just
a group of people in the dark that were just vaping so much.
yeah. And then like they vape with
All the-
like
all
their
the
windows
fog,
closed and
all-
everything. And then like they decided, let's open the window. You know?
They
It
had
just
a
smelled
whole
nice.
car
Ask
there.
him that.
Yeah.
Albert,
yeah,
I got a question. Did you do Area 51?
yes,
What?
No, you
What?
didn't.
I'm not allowed to disclose it because if I'm disclosing it, I can see a sniper from a mile away. I think they have it pointed at me. So if I talk about it,
Oh, friend
this
zone
will, be,
scared.
this will be the end of it.
Oh no, not friends
They
again. Where's
took
the
Kelvin.
eagle?
No.
They
It's
got
The sniper
they got
got
the
Igor.
eagle.
each
got
one of us
the
is
eagle.
getting. Yeah, Igor, are you okay?
I got sniped.
okay.
Albert, you lied.
Any of you guys have any other stories? Because I actually have 2 more.
Oh, yes.
Um,
I've got none. Oh,
None of
no,
them. None of them.
they're not.
Sorry.
The other 2 doesn't involve me, but it's quite creepy.
Does it have to be
Alright.
not disappointing
I've
scary?
got a scary
stories?
story. I've got one. I don't know if I
Okay.
can
Alright.
explain it correctly though, but I'll try.
Go, Oogie Boogly.
Okay, so my
Go.
friend, they were staying at their grandparents' place, and it was just the grandparents and my friend. So the grandparents went out for dinner. And they said, "Oh, you go to sleep early while we're going out." I don't know why they didn't have a babysitter or anything, but basically, when she was sleeping, she felt someone like pulling on her hair, and she turned around. There was nobody there. She was like, "Oh, this must be my imagination." And then it went from like stroking her hair to like pulling, like her head was being physically pulled backwards. And she turned around. No one was there. And then when she did go back to sleep and wake up the next morning, she saw her hair next to her on the side of the pillow, and it was just like streaks of hair being pulled out.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
And like, how messed is that?
that's messed up.
And the grandparents were like, "Oh, what happened to your hair? Like, did you pull it out?" And she said, "No." Like, and she was, "Oh God, can you? What the heck?" So she was just there at home alone, and then there was something there.
I
Oh,
suspect the first.
but yeah, that's
I got another scary story, I guess.
Wait, Kelvin, is it gonna be disappointing?
I don't know. It doesn't sound disappointing in my head.
You got this, Igor. I back you. Come on.
Yes, let's go. So when I was a young little Igor living in Singapore,
A young little
Yeah.
Igor.
I was sleeping at night, and then like there's like I don't know, I was in a I don't know, I was some kind of in a dream, and then like getting chased by like a ghost and stuff. But I don't know. It's like when I wake up, I feel like something. No, I wake up because someone pulled my leg. That's how it
Oh,
feels like. But then like, and then like as I wake up, I saw like this like I don't know little girl, on the other side of the door. Like it's kind of like it's open like
a little bit.
like a little bit, yeah. So I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see a bits of it, and I can see like I don't know a shape of a little girl.
Are there
Yeah,
any little girls in your house, or is it just like some random you think?
I don't know. It's I guess it's something random because it only happened once. No,
That's
it's like it's the first time where I wake up from a nightmare and I'm all like cold sweat and everything.
oh.
Yeah, I was like,
So
oh,
you felt a pulling on your leg.
yeah. That's what
Oh,
it felt like.
that's messed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
That's
messed
how it
up.
feels. So,
Hey, thanks.
is that disappointing?
Well,
That's quite
it's
cute
okay.
actually.
It's quite creepy.
Hey,
I was just about to
yes.
say, talking about waking up due to a nightmare. Ariq, do you want to tell the story in Serpong? What happened in the morning when you're watching Shaun of the Dead?
So, once upon a time,
You know
not
what?
Kelvin
far
can take.
away.
Who's gonna tell the story? You or Ariq?
Now Hans,
I've already
go
told
ahead,
this
tell the
story
Okay,
story.
many times.
this is not a scary story, by the way. Just feel free to tell the
Oh,
story, and then I'll tell my story.
okay. So once upon a time when not so little Igor and Victor and Hans were sleeping together, not in any weird way. Uh,
Oh, one of yous were very weird.
in the morning, Eric definitely an early riser. He wakes up and he goes ahead and watches Shaun of the Dead. Am I right?
Yes, I was watching Shaun of the
Yes.
Dead on
I
my
was
laptop.
I was kind of awake and I was like half asleep, and then I was sleeping. I was still laying on the bed next to Albert, and I was just kind of like playing with my phone, half asleep. And then out of nowhere,
That's
out
true.
of nowhere, this Albert was like, "Ah!"
Should I recreate it right now?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So this is what happened. Arik's watching. Ariq, pretend you're watching. Kelvin, you're still sleeping, right?
No, I'm playing with my phone. I'm kind of half
Okay.
asleep.
Okay,
Like,
I was still asleep, and I honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I don't remember. I remember this happening, but I don't remember what caused it to happen. So this is what happened basically. Pretend I'm sleeping. Ah! And then I stopped.
What
yep.
was that?
Here's the
the
funny
I don't.
part.
I don't know. I
No,
don't
here's the
remember what.
thing.
The funny part. The funny part about my perspective is when I was watching Shaun of the Dead. I decided to like pause the movie for a while so I can like move my phone, like so I can put my phone charger in. But when I paused the movie, I heard like a scream. I thought somebody was being killed in the movie, but the movie has paused. So I'm like, what? And I turned around. Albert was like, ah. Kelvin was like, what? Kelvin was like shell shocked, and I was like, what?
It was.
I turned around to this idiot screaming. No, not that idiot.
No,
Idiot
the
screaming.
thing. No, the
This
thing is.
idiot
Albert is
screaming.
crying.
No, the thing is, if Albert screamed and and he's awake, it would have been a bit more normal. But no, he's still asleep after that.
That's the thing. I don't
To be
remember.
honest,
I don't
that's
remember
the
what.
well. You don't remember, okay, Bert. But the thing is, you came up with an excuse as soon as you wake up, and I remember that excuse.
What I
Your
don't.
excuse was in your dream you were being tortured, and as a result you decided to scream when they like clip your toe or something. That's what you said. You said that you were being tortured in your dream and you
Yeah,
were screaming.
I didn't remember that. But,
Yeah, but that's what I remember. That was your reasoning. I was like, what? Why did you scream?
Doesn't he do something like that
you
again
know,
when
you know what?
we was in Bali?
Here's the thing. I remember something from that night. I remember the reason I screamed was I don't know exactly if I was being tortured, but I remember I was holding in a scream and I was At the moment where I let out the scream, it just happened to let out in real life. But I don't know why I was holding in. I remember firmly that I was like, Albert, just fucking scream, damn it, just scream. But I don't know why. But I was like holding in, but I cannot scream. And suddenly, boom, that just burst. But yeah, that's weird.
Did Albert do something similar while we were in Bali?
No, it
I can tell the story in Bali, though. You want me to tell that instead?
no, I have a story to tell.
Alright,
Okay.
Albert.
First of all, do you guys want to hear a personal story, but disappointing to the level of Kelvin's first story, or
What else is
or
good?
do you want to hear, or do you want to hear a real story that is quite creepy, but not from me, but not my story?
Let's go
Okay,
with the
wait.
disappointing one first.
Let's go with, because if we're gonna talk about nightmares, let's go with one of mine. That's not that scary if you hear it, but if you experience it, it'll scare the shit out of you.
Oh,
That's an
let's
interesting
go
one.
for
Like
the.
it's like if you're just saying it, but like it's not gonna happen. But if you actually experience it in your sleep, damn, that scares the shit out of me.
Okay, so let's hear it.
So I forgot what the background story was, but the point was I was just walking through like the forest, right? And then
Mhm.
it was like midday. It wasn't that dark, but like it was in the forest. And then like out in the distance, I see this like usual black figure, and it had the head of like
Sasquatch.
no, it was like this really thin figure, but really tall, and it had the head of like a fox.
Slenderman.
Oh,
And then it was just
Fox.
staring at me. Like literally it was just staring at me, right? And then I was looking at it, and then I decided to okay ignore it, and then like kept walking. But then when I looked at it again, like it seemed slightly bigger. And then I ignored it again, and I looked at it again, and it was getting bigger and bigger, and I realized it was getting closer. And then that shit kept going on for like 5 minutes until it was like 2 meters away from me, and then I woke up. And that's it. It was just staring at me menacingly, and I'm like, oh.
Imagine if you wake up and then like that's the thing you see. That'll be
In front of your
scary.
face, like right here.
Yeah.
That's something I would not like to happen.
No, and then turns out he's awake. Is that it's still his dream? Then he wakes up for real.
oh god.
It's a dreamception. That'll be
Well,
next level dreaming.
we're talking about dreams. I have a dream that I experienced a while. I don't know it's so long ago, but this is I feel like this still is the scariest dream I had. Maybe because I was younger back then, so it seems scarier. But basically, I don't know how I even thought of this, but I was like watching the news on. It is in the dream. I was watching the news on TV, and there was like some kind of rabbit creature. And it's basically so imagine the crooked man from Conjuring.
Oh yeah.
So imagine a crooked man, but he run on all fours and is quite fast. So I got like crooked
That big?
features, quite big, and have like the face of like a werewolf or something with claws and shit. And it just imagine like a running crooked man on all fours
Oh,
with like werewolf features,
oh,
but very thin and crooked. And basically, after I watched the news inside my dream, I was like, I don't know if I was asleep or whatever, but the next thing I know, you know how in dreams you just sometimes transfer from places to places?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, I was like in this desert place, and I don't know what's happening, and people were starting to panic, and then I realized that creature is in the desert at the same time with me. And I was just trying to run, but the desert was like a quicksand desert, and I'm just sinking and everything. And I managed to outrun. I managed to like outrun the crooked man and everything like that. But eventually, and this is when I wake up. Eventually, I get like eaten alive by it.
Oh.
you
That's
get
no
eaten
bueno.
alive. It caught up to you. Did you get a chance to like fight back at least, or?
No, I didn't fight back. I just ran. But I keep on sinking to the sand because it's like
Oh, it's like the classic run away, but you're slow. Like you.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that so much.
So that's a creepy
Oh, I
night.
hate those. Yeah.
Can I share a nightmare of mine?
Sure.
This scared me when I got this nightmare when I was like a young little Igor. What's the
Say a
name?
young people every time.
Because that's what I was back then. The dream is just it's like I don't know. I was babysitting a baby. Of course.
You're
Of
sitting on a
course.
baby. Okay.
Of
You're
course.
sitting on a baby.
And then like in a dream, it's like suddenly it was like fine and dandy in like the first half, and then suddenly the baby starts to start missing facial features. Suddenly, like one of the eye is gone. The
Oh,
ears gone,
I think
stuff
you've
like
told
that.
this to me once.
And then and suddenly like there's like only like one eye left, and then like the body starts to crack up, like those like arid, dry places,
Hmm.
the ground. It just starts to crack up like that, and it starts to chase me around the house. Kind of creepy. And then like I hid under the bed, and then like he found me. Then I wake up. I was like, "Ooh,
He found. Oh my.
yeah,
He
yeah."
found
He
you.
had a knife and everything.
Wow.
It's like
What?
a baby Chuck.
Chucky 2.0.
Okay. I have another one. I have another one. But okay, first of all, I'm no longer going to tell a disappointing story, but because you have to follow it up with a disappointing story to be very disappointing. But I have okay. I have two stories. Which one do you want me to tell first? The story, the first one or the second one? Just say one or two.
One.
Two.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So the first one. So this happened to a friend of mine. And basically, this is real. There is a place, if you Google this, there is a place on Michigan, the state of Michigan, called Blood Road. And they say people say that Blood Road is the history of it is real. Some people say the history is hoax and everything. But basically the fake history is that there used to be there used to be like lots of murders there. Um, you know how in the US people used to believe in witches. They say they used to hang witches in the forest over there, whatever. But basically, Blood Road is like a very long, like not really highway, but a really long, small road that's just next to it is just like very tall forest and everything like that. So my friend who lives in Michigan, he had he was going home at night and he was on his own, and once again he missed a turn and he have to take his only other course is through Blood Road. So it's like yeah sure why not? He decided to go to Blood Road at night. And then he was just like, you know how sometimes in the street there's a writing, the writing of the street, you're entering something like that.
Yeah.
So he was like, you're entering Blood Road, and then there is a guy standing there. So the guy's like waving at him like furiously. So he went there and he stopped and he opened the window and he talked to the guy, and then the guy just mentioned this to him. The guy just talked to him like this: go back away, turn back now before it's too late.
Oof.
And then my friend just started freaking out, like, what's wrong? And then he's like, just go back, just turn away now. And then I don't he just started scared, and then suddenly he looks, because it was like pitch black. Like imagine the road, you can imagine pitch black, right? So and then he looked forward, and then suddenly from a distance, just imagine like in a distance, like imagine if it's pitch black, it's suddenly just like one flashlight, and then there's suddenly another flashlight,
Oh,
and another flashlight.
no.
And there's suddenly there's a bunch of flashlight pointing at him. And then apparently, according to him, it's a cult that's having like some kind of ritual over there, and
That's definitely a cult.
That's
and
messed
and
up.
and he noticed him, and so he directly like turned away and he run back. He doesn't know what happened to the guy that was standing there. He's just there. He just turned around and go the other way, because apparently there is something going on.
That's so creepy. The heck?
Well,
Alright. Well, what will happen if you just go straight on?
I don't know.
You wonder,
not
don't you?
sacrifice.
Would you do it, Igor? Would you keep driving forward?
If I have someone with me, yes. If like I have
Really?
like
Oh
Hans
my
McGool with me,
God.
I'll be like,
No,
like,
I'll leave.
Yeah,
I'll run out. Bye, bye, bitch.
no, it's like before stuff happened, I'll be like a courageous Igor. I was just like, yes, onward, my steed. And then like,
And then after a while, we're just like, just back it up, yeah, back it up, just back it up,
And so
yeah,
that,
back it up, yeah, back it up.
once we get close enough and see what's happening and we don't want to be part of it, yep, back it up.
Back it up, just back it up, back it up.
That's definitely
To be
what will
honest,
happen.
that story is similar to like that movie I watched last night, that premiere movie I attended. So something like the culty kind of thing.
yeah, cult stuff is creepy, honestly.
Yeah,
But
Yes.
okay, do you want to hear the other story that I know of?
Yes.
the disappointing one.
No,
No.
this one is a good one.
Oof.
So,
Okay.
well, okay, I don't know if it's good or not, but we'll determine it. So, okay, this is. I'm not gonna say my friend's name just for her sake, but she's not in Purdue. She studies somewhere else, and she lives in a dorm, and she lives in the oldest dorm in campus.
Uh-oh.
And there was this rumor in the dorm that along a very long time ago in that dorm, since this is the oldest dorm, there is, and there still is until right now, a kitchen in the dorm, and there used to be a chef for that dorm. But no, there's no chef anymore downstairs, but there's still a kitchen. So used to be in that dorm chef. That dorm chef had an affair with one of the professors, and then
Okay.
the professor got pregnant, and she hung herself in that kitchen.
Oh
And
my
because of that, they call the kitchen like the meat locker or whatever.
Oh my god.
So they don't know if it's true or if it's a hoax, because university don't want to disclose that kind of stuff. So they decided to just have fun and test it out. So she and her friends, they borrowed, how in the US, at least, in the lobby area, the dorm, there's like what's it called, like an information desk, sort of a desk for people to like check in and stuff. So you can borrow like board games in there, and they borrowed an Ouija board. Is that how you pronounce it?
A Ouija board.
Ouija, I think.
Oh,
So-
they tried the
The
Ouija.
Ouija board.
So they
tried Ouija.
borrowed the Ouija board, and they brought it to the kitchen, and they went into the kitchen and they decided to do it. And while there was the other thing, there was like 4 people or 5 people that when she told me the story. So they were just there, they were testing it out, and then they were asking some questions, and like nothing happened. They're just ready, about to leave, and then suddenly the light just turns off for quite a second, and then it flickers on, and then it flickers back on and off for several times, like literally like a malfunction. And then they started like, oh fuck, what's going on? They started getting scared, and then not long after, like there was like some rattling from the back of the room while the lights were on. And then suddenly the lights turned back on, and they're like, shit, what was that? They were just ready to leave, and they were looking around, and what they noticed was they were so scared, they were by the door, right? And then they were by the door the whole time. So what they noticed is that there is no light switch in the room, and the only light switch is by the back of the room near the
Oh god. Shit.
Oh.
Dude.
So
That's
yeah.
not good.
Shit this.
That's
So-
scary. That's
so,
scary.
yeah.
This
Fuck
is by far the best
that.
story so far.
Huh?
That's
This is by far the best one.
Yeah, that's freaky. That's just freaky.
Oh god damn.
Oh, God. That's freaky. Yeah. I didn't know Ouija board works.
Well, I don't think they told me what happened to the Ouija board, but they just told me that happens.
Ah.
Because Ouija board is supposed to give you an answer, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Cool
that's
cool story.
going to be.
I mean, if you guys have time, I have more, but yeah.
You,
No, no.
you want to tell another one?
I mean, anyone else have another story that they want to tell instead of me?
No,
Not
not
really.
Do you guys want to hear more stories, or are you guys good? That's the question.
I'm down. I don't know.
They're interesting.
Yeah, Bird.
What?
No, I would like to go
How
to
do you-
sleep.
Teguh, it's like that.
No, I mean I would like to be able to go to sleep.
Oh.
No,
Well,
she's going
I'll be with you. Don't worry. Teguh.
well, in that case, let's tell a story from
That's
our
even
home
worse.
country from our home country of Indonesia.
You have good
Huh?
ones. I like them.
Okay,
What,
so
a
this
scary
one, okay,
story
so
from
this one,
Indonesia?
this one actually is real, and I am somewhat involved in it. And the story is, my mom and her group of friends have. Okay, I don't know if Jason will understand this, but what is arisan in English? You guys know what it is?
Arisan?
It's a
It's
gathering,
just a
isn't it?
gathering.
So okay,
It's hard to
You
explain.
can just call it
It's
a
like a-
gathering.
A mom's
Harry's
gathering with
so it's
children.
like a monthly gathering. So
Yes.
my mom and her high school friends have a monthly gathering, and they at one time I joined them for the dinner part. So they went to this restaurant in Jakarta that I've never heard of, and this restaurant is like a very old fashioned. It's like Indonesian traditional food. There were like inside the restaurant is very shady. There's like statues. There's like lots of statues and lots of painting, like lots of plants inside the restaurant. And I was there for the dinner. And after the dinner, because my mom's still talking with all her friends for a long time, I left with my driver to go to the mall. So I didn't. So the actual thing that happened didn't happen to me, but happened to my mom and her friends. So after she talked and everything, they took pictures like as usual. So they took a picture, and they didn't realize this until the next day when they checked the picture. In the picture, behind one of my mom's friend, there is a figure. There's like a
Oh,
there's like a very weird there's like a
Like
very weird
here,
figure behind my mom's friend, and they were it was like so prominent, and the figure is like so obvious of a picture of a person or something, but they knew that they know there is no one else there. So they were so scared that they delete the picture and they don't have the picture anymore. But the thing is, they know that this thing is real because the person who the figure is behind him, he said that he has been feeling back pain and like his shoulder feels heavy for the ever since he was there in the restaurant. So he literally he's Buddhist, so he literally have to go to the temple and have his friends like help him, pray for him to make that quote unquote spirit go away.
Oh, I thought you went to like the massage parlor or something.
They must touch the spirit away. But yeah.
Yeah. Look, here. Would you, if you're hiking on a mountain, would you let them lose a person, or have an additional person in your group?
Oh god. Um,
Which one would be worse? Do you think having an additional person or losing a person?
okay, my question is, does the additional person stick around for the whole trip, or do they disappear mid-trip as well?
I don't know, man. I didn't think this through.
This is like what happens. That doesn't remind me of a story of an urban legend. Actually, I just realized. Just remembered.
why
Yeah.
did your mom delete it? I want to see the photo of the guy.
Yeah, I know, me too, actually.
Because they were terrified. I've never even seen. I
You
didn't.
didn't see the
Oh, you
photo?
haven't seen it, Albert?
My mom didn't let me see it. My mom didn't let me.
Oh, come on.
Dude,
Surely she
did
still has
she
it.
did she change her phone after that?
Yeah.
No.
What did
She
Oh.
didn't.
she still,
Maybe she blasted her phone afterwards.
That'd be so cool to see. I'd love to see that.
That is terrifying.
If that happened, I would download a bunch of Bibles app in my phone.
Yes,
That's what I would
Eagle.
do. My phone would be like the holiest thing ever. After that.
Teguh, are you terrified yet?
Teguh, try checking all the pictures in your phone. Pictures of your harem in your phone.
What?
Is there an additional person? Additional harem?
Wait, this one
Oh wait,
isn't
you
in
guys
my
haven't
harem.
seen the picture of my latest farm.
Of your
Teguh
what?
comes back. Teguh
My
comes back to
latest-
his farm. He noticed there's one more sheep.
Hey, that's a phantom sheep.
No, but where's my phone?
Oh, a
Dun,
ghost
dun.
took it. Oh, Teguh. Oh no.
Wait, Teguh, what's that behind you? There's like some white thing in the back.
What white thing?
Oh.
Oh.
It's
Well,
probably,
what
Are you seeing things?
it's probably just. It's
Actually,
probably
wait. I see the white thing that Albert's mentioning. It looks like a
Oh, yeah.
reflection, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
A what?
There, you see that thing right beside your arm? Oh no, God, you
Like
covered
a
it.
rectangle
That
on your right arm.
this
Yeah,
one,
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
what's
hovering
that?
over it.
that is like a slit of the window that
Oh.
you can
Or,
see
Oh my
through the
God.
door.
or a demon.
Oh my God.
Scary stuff there.
Wow.
Oh, that's epic.
Now that's real life.
Terrifying.
Real life terrifying.
Yeah.
I have okay. This is kind of related to Halloween because you want to see a picture of me being mauled by multiple scary
Harem?
monsters.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh,
Basically,
you have a
harem.
Okay.
harem team, a
Thank
monster
God.
team harem.
Okay, wait, Kelvin, listen. Thank God Teguh said he was being mauled, because when he say maul, I directly thought that Teguh was about to say, "You want to see picture of me getting molested?" I'm like, what?
Mole. Mole. Mole.
Technically, this does involve molesting, but
Oh no.
What?
Oh,
Okay
Teguh
then.
It's
enjoys
not
this.
too
I
bright.
can't.
Is it?
Okay,
Is it a
go,
bit
go.
too bright?
Share it to the line.
Oh,
Share it to the line group. I'll share screen it.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Mhm.
Not really.
Yeah, I'll
Just
Mole.
share
hands
screen.
coming off
Share it to
the
the line group and I'll share screen.
He got molested.
he got more
My
molested.
latest harem
got-
involving
He got lested.
Yeah, I got,
Involving
very
hands.
scary monsters,
I've had 2 Halloween nights so far in the US. Nothing scary
scary monsters of the forest.
has happened to
Oh,
me.
but because you're doing Halloween wrong, you're supposed to go to haunted house and go to graveyard.
I guess. There you go, guys.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
molested.
Oh, that's
Oh
so
my God.
cute.
Once at the tip of your.
Look at them. Oh.
oh, here, Teguh.
My question is this voluntary? Or did they attack you?
It was
looks
voluntary, but
involuntary.
at the same time, they did attack me.
That was hella cute.
Ariq, can we try this in your house later?
No, my bunnies are too scared of
For
humans.
the audio listeners, if there's a picture of the goo and he is covered by bunnies.
Spooky.
No. Well, when Christy Brown hasn't died yet. It's my rabbit names. I tried that. Like I put 2 of my rabbits like on top of me. It's funny feeling. They have fluffy paws jumping on your stomach. It's weird.
Thing is, they did attack me because they bit my finger, and
Oh.
they tried to dig through my arm. So
Oh.
That is the scariest thing we hear tonight, folks. Rabbits.
yeah,
Rabbits like to dig through your arm.
This is like a PSA. Bunnies, they are scary.
Bunnies.
Don't get them.
and those are
So
wild
easy.
feral bunnies as well.
If we change all of our horror stories tonight into bunnies, it will be scary.
Yeah, imagine like
Oh my God.
like the
Hazel
story
just-
about the
imagine
guy
Hazel-
waving. Like imagine that's not a guy. That's a rabbit furiously waving at you.
Wait, Albert. So it's like, so what I told about Hazel's scary story, like what? He stepped on rabbits?
Oh
Oh
no!
god, no.
He stepped on rabbits instead of bugs.
Oh wait. So are you saying in my story I tried to summon a rabbit in my closet?
You tried to babysit a rabbit, but it got a knife and tried to kill you.
Magicians summon a rabbit out of their hats all the time, so it's not uncommon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, I want to summon the rabbit out of my closet. That would be like the best magic trick.
But yeah, anyway, anyone else have any other scary stories they want to disclose?
We'll keep it for next year, Albert.
Okay,
Next year.
I'll keep it in mind.
Unless we want to do a summer, a spook summer. Like what we did.
Another summer spooky stories. But yeah, let's save it for future use in case we have some scary stories. And yeah, if any audience is listening right now, not either in the live show or just in the audio later, if you have some scary stories, feel free to either tweet me at Wiradharma, or you can send us an email or even a voice message on Anchor, and we can play it if we want to do another topic like this. So yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess we have no more scary stories. We can probably
Nope.
wrap up.
Yep. All right then.
No.
So you guys know what time it is. It's plugging time.
Oh Jesus.
That's not very. That is out of context. That is horrible. That is
It's fine.
horrible.
Let's start
Lucky.
from our guest here. Oogly Boogie. Let's plug it up.
Okay, so
Plug
Instagram.
it in.
I think it's Jason Wiradharma, maybe.
You're not. Are you sure it's not Oogly Boogly? Wiradharma?
Oogly boogly.
At Oogly Boogly Boogly Oogly. Yeah, that's all I got. Just Instagram, I guess. If you want to follow me, I got some photos of my dog. Yeah, she's
Oh,
pretty fluffy. There you
My
go.
dog.
Yeah,
My dog.
looks like a bear.
Albert, stop it. It
Ow.
hurts my ears.
What was that?
What was that? Shut up. You know what it is. Get out of here.
Alright,
That's my
is that
plug.
all? Oh, alright.
That's Jason
Okay,
Wiradharma. I don't
let's
play
go
any games.
to
I'm boring.
let's go to Friend Zone. Plug it up.
Well, you can find me
No way.
on Instagram at TG23399. You can find me on Steam, I guess. Is it still? Yes, it's still Deep Fried Tofu. Um, other than that, I have nothing else to plug because I have
Nice.
nothing else.
Once again, if you find Teguh on TG23399, if you want to spam his Instagram, feel free to do so.
Yes.
With
Now
hate comments.
that Albert and Teguh have showed their true feelings to each other, we can.
You know what I wanna complain to Teguh real quick though. So
What?
when I listened to the anime episode, I found out that he took this picture without even watching your name. You have not seen your name, Teguh, haven't you?
Nope.
Screw you.
Hey.
Screw you.
Well,
Maybe
he
I
was
should go
there
there.
and you guys weren't.
But I was there,
So
haha.
screw you.
God damn it.
So screw
Alright,
you.
I guess Hans, plug it up.
What?
Gets
Is it
the
out,
Flamen
in,
warfare.
out? Can you make up your mind? Plug it what? Plug it what, Igor? Damn.
Oh,
Shit. God. It's been 30 episodes. You still don't know what to say. So unprofessional. So unprofessional. I'm starting a civil war with Kelvin. You start a civil war with him. I don't care.
Oh,
It's a four-way
Anyways.
civil war. I see. Alright,
No, it's a 2
alright.
versus 2, except the 2 is not team. Okay, well, you can find me on Instagram at Ariq Andria. I actually finally posted after like 2 years.
I saw that.
Nice.
Yes,
I
it was me
commented
at
on
Comic
that.
Con. Yeah, it was me on Comic Con, and you can find me on what's this thing called, Steam, at the Bluesmith, Throwback to episode 5. I can't remember. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I have. That's what I'm mostly active on.
Alright, and I'll do my plug stuff first, then Albert.
I'll do my plug.
I want to plug mine up first before Albert plug his.
I want to plug.
Okay.
Okay. I guess you can find me on Instagram at KYAce27, and then my Steam, if you guys want to play, it's called Disco Monkey 007, and then sometimes when I feel like it, I will stream on a Mixer at Disco Monkey 007. It's a
What
game
games you
stream.
play? What games
I
you
play
play?
Destiny 2,
Ooh.
sometimes
Anything that's
Monster
free off the
Hunter.
market.
Yeah, anything that's free or I've bought before. I'm a cheap dude.
You won't see new games. You'll just see like free ones.
Yeah.
I chimed in.
Why Kelvin started playing Destiny 2.
I watched one of his live stream on Mixer and then he didn't recognize that I was in the chat. I feel sad.
Oh, Igor.
Oh,
I was too focused not
Igor.
dying in the game, Albert.
Sure.
It's hard, isn't it? Trying to talk to
Albert,
your
it's
streamers.
Teguh and Kelvin against you, mate. It's Teguh and mate, it's so. Wait, not
Minute,
hands gonna come for you. Oh.
Joe Movies and Disco Monkey should collab in a, I don't know. Alright,
Okay.
I guess Albert, plug it in.
Well, you can find me at social media in Twitter and Instagram at JA Wiradharma. And you can also, if you're watching this on the YouTube, you can find it's at Joe. I don't know. My voice just cracked. It's at Joe Movies on YouTube. If you're not watching, if you're watching live, and you're watching it right now. If you're not watching live, if you're listening on audio, and check out my YouTube channel, Joe Movies. We do the video version of this there, and I also do trailer reactions. I try to do more. I do movie review. I don't really do movie reviews anymore. I probably just do it in the show because that's more easy for me too. And I do Schmodown reactions. That's my bread and butter right now. And you can find the Councilmen at Councilmen Show on Instagram and Twitter. We upload updates there, and we share the links and everything. And you can find our show, The Councilmen, on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, Podbean, Anchor, wherever you listen to your audio listening feed.
Nice.
Yes. Nice.
Jesus.
And I have to say one more thing, Kelvin. I didn't want to brought it up during the episode, but when it was pitch black on your end, I saw like a white hand on your shoulder. But yeah, I don't think it was anything important.
A white hand. It's yellow
white
though.
hand. Albert,
But he's
I
yellow.
welcome them. Touch, molest me all you want. I can feel you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess with that, the Councilman has Spooktober. I don't know. I tried something new. It didn't work. Sorry.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. That was horrible. Do it again.
Encore.
And with that, the Councilman has spoken. And we'll see you in the next spooky episode.